Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I buy used clothes at thrift stores. I list them on eBay and Poshmark and sell them hopefully for a profit. Today is Monday, January 6th, 2025. It's my first video of the new year. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, because I missed that too. And I have 5 items that I sold in the last 3 days on eBay. 1 item on Depop. My eBay gross total was $172.26. At the end of the video, I will tell you my profit. Most of the items were pretty good, but it was just, I don't know, it was kind of slow. So this is what sold on Depop. These are a pair of vintage shoes. They kind of had that chunky Y2K. I mean, I wore shoes exactly like this in 2000, 2001. These are called Prima Royale Unitrend. They're leather. Oh, I don't know if you can see that label. I don't know. They're vintage. I mean, they probably actually came from 2000. They definitely have some like cracks on the insides. I have had these for 2 full years and so that's not great. I haven't paid for this label yet. I do Depop shipping kind of backwards from how I do my other shipping. So all of my numbers are kind of estimates. Well, not all of my numbers, but these sold for $25.60. That was an offer that someone sent and then actually paid for, which in my experience doesn't happen very often on Depop. I do not know much about Depop at all. So if you have questions, I'm not the one to ask. I just don't know what I'm doing on there. I just kind of list stuff and hope for the best. Anyway, these, yeah, I've had for 2 years. They sold for $25.60 plus $8 in shipping. I'm just gonna put them in a recycled like Amazon poly mailer. I almost always ship shoes in poly mailers and it seems to work just fine. So $8 in shipping. They paid a total of $33.60. Depop's fee, they don't have fees, but they have fees, but I'm fine with the fees because they're so low. It's like a payment processing fee or something, I think is what it says. Anyway, it was $1.61. So minus the fee is $31.99. I think shipping's probably gonna cost me about $9. I'm not sure yet. And I paid $1 for them at my old favorite thrift store. It's a thrift store that I still go to. I still like it. It's just not my favorite anymore. Anyway, after those costs, I think my profit will be roughly $21.99. So I just estimated it at $22. So I will include, well, I'll talk about that at the end. So what I'm gonna do is just use a Sharpie and write what they are. Prima, and then I'm gonna weigh them. This is what I do before I list things on eBay. This is a food scale. I've used this for the full 3 years that I have been reselling, and it has always been fine. It's probably not completely accurate. So these are 2 pounds, 4 ounces. And then this package was 12 by 13. I measured it before. Anyway, so then I will go on, the way I do Depop is I buy my labels through Pirate Ship. So I'll buy that label through Pirate Ship and ship it. I hope that makes sense. All right, rest sold on eBay. I haven't had Poshmark sales in a long time. I don't know what's happening. I like double checked to make sure Prime Lister was still sharing for me because I've had it happen like, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago. My debit card expired and So that was what the payment was set up on. And I didn't realize that the payment didn't process because of my expired debit card. And so I had to go in. But anyway, it was like 2 weeks and Prime Lister hadn't been sharing for me. So anyway, that was not the problem. I don't know what's going on. But I feel like sometimes that happens. But this sold on eBay. Most of the sales on eBay were pretty good. This is like a vintage LL Bean coat. It is down-filled and it has like the Sherpa, faux Sherpa collar. I do believe it's a woman's coat. I have had this thing for 17 months. I've had it priced pretty competitively, I think, but man, I don't know why. It just has not sold. So it finally sold for $30. Someone offered $30 plus shipping. They paid on eBay. So what I like to do, I didn't do it for those shoes, but what I like to do is share sell-through rate and average sale price. I think that for me, when I'm sourcing for something, those two things are really important. And especially I think when I'm seeing other people sell things or like thrift hauls, they don't share those things. And I think I've had a couple times where I've looked up things that people, like I've seen on shorts where someone's like real excited, like, oh, I should be able to get like this massive amount of money. And then I go and comp that item and it's not true. So I don't know if they are just looking at only things that are listed and not sold, but, and I'm not saying that to be like unkind to someone. I'm just saying for me, I want to actually know what the sell-through rate is. I don't think that's the only thing that matters when I'm listing something, when I'm sourcing something, but I do think it's important. So the sell-through rate on that LL Bean women's coat down is what I searched. And I searched on the eBay product research tool, which is in the seller hub, or you can search on the app. And both of those, I have a little video that's linked in the description if you want to watch how to comp things. LL Bean coat is $54.48 is the average sale price with a 20% sell-through rate. Sell-through rate is pretty low there. So I have a really good example, which I'll go ahead and do this. 20%, if I'm looking at very basic math, if there's 100 items that have been listed in the last 90 days, 20% means 20 have sold and there are 80 still listed. So 20% is not a great sell-through rate. I had this listed at probably 50 or 60 originally, and I had it down to like $40. Someone offered me 30, and I went ahead and took that because, man, 17 months is way too long to have that. I bought it at the bins. I average my cost usually at $2 per item, but if something weighs a little more like this, I will add money to that cost of goods. I don't think it matters how you do that, but that's just how I do it for my own. I don't know. Anyway, $3 is what I have my cost of goods. So my profit is $23.62, which I think is fantastic, other than it took, 17 months to sell. There's actually a lot of items that I've had for a really long time. This is another one. This is a vintage wool blazer, and it has like these little circle applique embroidery on it. This is like a felt. Look at these buttons are cool. I like buttons, especially on like vintage stuff. Apple seeds. I don't know. Maybe this isn't super vintage. That tag doesn't look super vintagey to me, but anyway. What I looked up was vintage felt wool blazer, which I don't know if this is actually a blazer, and I think that was all I added. The average sale price was $25.52 with a 5% sell-through rate, which is real low. I've had this for 16 months. That definitely tracks. That seems right with a 5% sell-through rate. I had this listed, I think, for $30. That's usually what I list my vintage stuff at. Probably should have listed this one a little lower with that low sell-through rate, but the buyer paid $26.91, and I think that was a 20% off offer I sent. Does that seem right? 30, I don't know. And then they paid a total of $33.84. I think $26.91 was what I had it listed at. And then they paid $33.84. Yeah. So I paid $2 for this at a thrift store here in my town that benefits our Humane Society. I don't go there very often because they have stuff way too overpriced for reselling. And it's like in a weird part of town that I never go to. I know that's probably like a dumb reason to not go somewhere. They also have really kind of strange hours. So it's not like I can pop by in the evening or something. Anyway. My cost of goods was $2. It took 16 months to sell. I don't know if it's going to fit in this poly miller. I'm going to try. My profit is $21.12. I do wrap everything in tissue paper with these little thank you stickers. I just buy the cheapest ones I can find on Amazon, if I'm being real honest. I try not to put too much money into my shipping supplies because it doesn't make me money. But I have had people recently, you know, just comment that, like in the feedback, that the packaging was nice. So I do like that. I don't think it's necessary to do any of that. I think you could just shove the thing in a poly miller and call it a day. I definitely receive a lot of packages like that, so I think that's fine. Ooh, made it, barely. Okay, these are 10 by 13 poly millers that I get on eBay with the shipping supply coupon that I get for having a store. It comes quarterly. It is a new quarter. It is Q1. So if you have a store, go use your coupon. I do have a video about that too, if you are unsure how to use it or what you should buy. I usually buy either these poly mailers or boxes. I use 8 by 6 by 4 boxes for hats and bras and belts and sometimes other random things. All right, this is a Polo Ralph Lauren sweater vest. It is Pima cotton. There it is. My lighting is all weird now that it's winter and I can't have my door open. My lighting's all messed up. But it is cold out today. We had a little bit of a winter storm last night. We were supposed to get like 4 to 6 inches or something. I think we got a 1.5 or something like that, but it wasn't bad. But it's nice and white out today. I don't think they have plowed my road yet. Did you get snow where you are? I probably should have taken a lint roller to this because there's just little things, but I hate my lint roller. I don't think it works well. I've tried 1,000 different lint rollers and I don't think any of them work well. I did see one recently on like a TikTok video or something. I don't really watch TikTok, but I watch YouTube shorts, which are essentially TikTok videos reposted. Of like a reusable one you could find on Amazon that is like a roller. I don't know. I might try it. Oh, look. Anyway, Polo Ralph Lauren sweater vest Pima cotton has an average sell-through rate of $20.72 and a 33% sell-through rate, which is not bad. When I'm sourcing, I shoot for 25 to 30%. You will see and have seen already, I don't always hit that. But that's about what I'm going for. Sometimes, you know, like I said, sell-through rate's not everything. So sometimes my personal experience and there are other factors I think that are important as well. This sold for $25.96, which was what I had it listed for. Plus shipping, they paid $33.87. I paid $2 at the bins 5 months ago, and my profit is $19.48, which is pretty good for a sweater vest. I'm not sad about it. All right, this is definitely the lowest thing that I sold, and it's still not even that bad. I mean, it's kind of bad. It's not that bad. All right, this is just a little tank top, black. Like, I used shell. It has a little lace detail trim on there. It's Maggie Barnes for Catherine's. And actually, I don't even think I put Maggie Barnes in it. I know I didn't put it in the search when I was searching the sell-through rate this morning, but I don't even think I put it in the listing. That might be a factor. I don't know. I don't think it is. I sell a fair amount of Catherine's. It's a plus size brand that does pretty well for me, especially if I can find like 4X, 5X. Those sell very quickly for me. Maggie Barnes usually is not a factor in that brand, but anyway, a Catherine's tank top has an average sale price of $11.89 with a 11% sell-through rate. So, you know, not very good to start off with. I had this listed for right around $10. I sent out 20% off offers, I think. I'm not really sure how that worked out. Anyway, they paid $8.89. Maybe that's what I had it listed at. I don't know. Anyway, with shipping, they paid a total of $14.90, and I apparently have a zero cost of goods in this. I don't know how. I bought it 16 months ago, so I don't remember. I did get it at my old favorite thrift store, so my profit is $7.65. Considering, you know, a zero cost of goods, I don't know why I would have had zero on there, but I don't know. Who knows? At that thrift store, maybe. It's a crazy thrift store. Anyway. Yeah, at a zero cost of goods, even if I had paid $1, if I turned $1 into $7, that's not bad, I don't think. All right, maybe I should keep this in here. I'm not gonna. I use a SKU system to store all my items, and I store them in these bags with these little numbers. I do not reuse numbers. I condense my boxes and move forward. But I do reuse my bags, and I just will stick the new sticker on top of the old sticker. This sold really fast. So, and it has a really good sell-through rate. Honestly, I would almost call this a BOLO. For me, be on the lookout is what BOLO stands for. You know, something that's going to sell really quickly and make me probably $30 or more in profit. My goal is $15 per item, just to value my time and the effort that it takes. So if it's going to give me $30 or more in a month or less, I would really call that a BOLO. The other things is if it's like 50% or higher in sell-through rate. That's just how I define it. I think different people define them differently. Anyway, these are a pair of insulated coverall overalls. They are like quilt lined on the inside. You can see they're pink. These would be really, really awesome if they were Carhartt, but they're Bern. B-E-R-N-E, if you're just listening. This has, you can see a little hole here. So the average sale price of Bern insulated overalls, and then I think I added women. These were also a tall, which there were not like the size tall. There were not any listed like that. So the average sale price was $36.80 with an 84% sell-through rate. So if I'm looking at my, you know, easy math with 100 items listed, that would be 84 sold and 16 still listed. Now, when I did the search to sell them, I did look up the size and I looked up pink. When I looked this morning to share with you, I did not add those things in. So I priced them at $50, hoping that I would get 40, because I do send out 20% off offers. I usually have a 15% off coupon on my store all the time. However, when I did the coupon, I just did it for that scared me, 2024. And, yeah, that's not gonna work. I just did it for 2024. It has expired. I did not work at all for the last, I shouldn't say it all. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I didn't work much in the last 2 weeks, and I certainly didn't redo my coupon. That's on my list to do this week. So someone sent me a $40.01 offer. I'm not really sure why they did that, but yeah, that was 20%, so I was happy to take it. Is this gonna even fit in here? Oh my goodness. I think it should. I should have left it in that bag is what I should have done. I'm not gonna deal with it. I almost said toilet paper, tissue paper. Okay. Whew, there we go. I'll get it together, maybe. Yeah, so 84% sell-through rate. I think I said 84/16. In reality, there were 51 listed and 10 sold. That's great. No, that's backwards. There were 10 listed and 51 sold. Okay, there we go. They paid a total of $50.87. They took 3 weeks to sell, which was great. And I paid $4 at the bins. The bins, I've said the bins a couple times. I don't think I said what it is. If you don't know or unfamiliar, the bins are the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. And so bigger items, I will, say that I just do an average cost when I go to the bins. It just makes my life a little bit easier instead of trying to do actual averages. Anyway, my profit is $32.63, which is amazing. So my profit on eBay was $104.50, which is fantastic, other than this was 3 days worth. I shipped Friday morning, and so these are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday sales. Today's Monday morning. I don't know. That's only $34.83 per day, which isn't great at all. Yeah, I don't know. My goal is $67 per day, which makes it $2,000 per month, which, just helps my family's budget. About half of it goes to my family's budget. A quarter of it goes to savings for tax purposes because this is taxable income. And then about a quarter of it goes back into inventory and shipping supplies and subscription fees and all the things. So I will this week do kind of an overview of December and what all my numbers looked like. So I did take, if I add in the Depop, it's $126 roughly is my profit for the day. So not too bad. I liked that a lot of my items were larger items. Other than that Catherine's tank top, all of my profits were like almost $20 or more. So I'm very, very pleased with that. That's not common for me. Most of my items sell between $15 and $25. So, and with lower sell-through rates, like 20 to 30% is probably, I don't keep specific track, but just knowing how I sell on a regular basis, that's about what my average would be. So anyway, I did a couple videos right before I dropped off YouTube for a couple weeks. I was feeling incredibly burnt out with YouTube, with I homeschool my kids, with school, with eBay. I was just, because I live here, and this is where I am, I just felt like I couldn't ever get away from any of it, and I was just feeling very burnt out and very stressed. And so I just completely took a break for 2 full weeks. I checked my email once a day just to keep up on offers and things like that. I relisted almost every day, because that's just a couple clicks on Vendu for me to delist and relist. It takes, you know, literally 30 seconds to delist 30 things on a page and relist them. So I just did that. When I would check my email, I would send offers on eBay, offers on Depop, and do the delist and relist. And I was on my computer for a total of like 5 minutes a day. I was talking to my husband a couple nights ago, and I was like, I really feel like I didn't even think about it as much as I normally do. I'm usually like constantly going, okay, what can I do? How can I make this better? When am I going to? And it's just always in my brain. And I felt like my brain just settled down a little bit. So I'm very, very pleased with that. I feel I'm not ready. Yesterday, I was like, I'm just not ready for this to be over, this break, but it was a really good break. We had a wonderful Christmas with my family. We were here the Saturday before Christmas. We went to my mom's and celebrated my mom, my sister and brother and their families. And then we were home. Other than like we went to our Christmas Eve church service, we went to our good friends on New Year's Eve, and other than that, we were just home. We hiked to New Year's Day, which is lovely. We worked on some projects. I read. We played a ton of games. We did puzzles. We colored. It was just a very relaxing, wonderful time. And I realized that because this is extra money for my family, it's important money. It's money that we need, but I'm not paying our mortgage. I'm not buying our food. I realize that I come from a place of privilege of being able to take time off. But I do want to encourage you, if you are feeling like you need a break, to take it. Maybe you won't be able to take a full 2 weeks, but maybe you can take a full 24 hours and just give yourself a break. Do something that's good for you, because I think that it's so important. When we give our bodies and our minds some rest, we actually come back more productive than if we would just plow through. So I just want to encourage you. Have you been able to take a rest? Let me know. Is that something that you prioritize, or are you just a hustle and go? I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with the hustle and go. I just think that we're more productive when we do give our bodies and minds time to rest. So I would love to know. That's the question of the day. All right. That's all for me. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know why I look around. I think it's just to make sure I didn't miss anything. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. I do these videos every day, usually Monday through Saturday. I upload at 8 p.m. Eastern, hopefully, as long as technology agrees with me. And it just, something honked. Just to kind of chronicle what a part-time reseller actually sells on eBay. So make sure you like the video if you liked it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you, and I'm so glad to be back with you. I'll see you soon.